Long, long ago, in the year 2010, I made a video about musicals set in high school. And in that video, I happened to briefly mention Glee, a spunky little show which at the time had only been around for one season and had a grand total of one gay main character. And at the time, I thought, this probably won't last. That Viva Laughlin show certainly didn't, and from what I hear, that was basically the same thing, except that it was about casino owners who can't sing. It is pretty anomalous for a musical TV show that's at least partially targeted to adults to enjoy the amount of success that Glee has. Over the course of 3 seasons, Glee has spawned a live show, a movie, novels, about a bazillion sales on iTunes, and a crap ton of merchandise, including, of course, castles. And how about a recount of those LGBT characters? This is actually kind of a big deal for a major primetime show. And there's a good reason that that kiss between Kurt and Blaine got reactions like this. And reactions like this. The show has also been surprisingly influential in the music world. For example, you know this song? This super obscure song you've probably never heard before? It debuted at number 91 on the Billboard Top 100. But after sexy Pee Wee Herman sang it, the CeeLo Green song Forget You, which is totally the actual real name of that song, it didn't even reach the top 10 until Gwyneth Paltrow sang it. But frankly, to me, Glee's music is sort of the least interesting thing about the show. I gotta be honest, one of the nice things about watching it on Hulu is that I can skip past the songs. I'm not saying they're bad, they're just not really my thing. Except for Unique, who is the best person in the world. On an individual level, people's opinions on Glee, particularly when talking about its story, are, shall we say, mixed. Ranging roughly from to... But a certain, very small percentage of non-Gleeks dislike the show for some odd reasons. Political reasons. Most of them related to that LGBT surplus.
Here we go again, pandering to 0.3% of the American population that considers themselves transgender. Now I get to explain this to my 8-year-old if I just wanted to see a nice family show with some nice music.
So now I have to talk to my f***ing kid? Thanks a lot, Glee.
You apparently cannot have a primetime television show without a queer on it. And the queer is the happiest, and the queer is the funniest, and the queer is the smartest, and the queer has the most...
Seriously though, what show is this guy talking about? I want to watch that show. And I don't even know what Glenn Beck's problem with Glee is, except that it had a My Chemical Romance song in it one time. And that's somehow turning our children into tiny sexting socialists. In response, Beck is apparently going to produce his own musical series that espouses his own political ideology. Which sounds like the worst TV show that I will ever watch every episode of. Here's the thing though, I actually do think that Glee sets kind of a bad example in the way it handles certain issues. Like, hey kids, if someone physically assaults you and you have evidence of it, don't go to the police, just sing a song. Or, making an online sex tape in high school has no long-term repercussions. Or, this is what being in a high school Glee club is like. At all. Though I have to admit that I feel a sick sort of train wreck pleasure when they place serious topics like domestic abuse back to back with hilarious fat jokes.
You're gonna stay with me tonight. Okay? If you don't have a change of clothes, I have a tent you can wear.
These characters don't live in any reality that I'm familiar with, where you can both compose and rehearse multiple songs the night before you perform them. But I'll admit that there have been a few moments of realness that have plucked my heartstrings. Blaine saying I love you to Kurt, the death of Sue's sister, even Rachel blowing her big audition. And I obviously don't think the problem with Glee is that happy gay people are on it. I think it's a good sign that a show like this is this popular with young people. Glee can be a bit grating and nonsensical at times, but it's hardly the worst thing on TV right now. And if there's one nice thing I can say about it, it's that it truly is unique.